The comic book says look, and look I did. All kinds of cool applications, Alex. What are we looking at here? The Looking Glass Factory has something new from last year. What is this?
That's right. So this is the Looking Glass Pro. And the Pro is a new version of the Looking Glass that is an all-in-one unit. So this is really a Looking Glass for business, where we have this unit which is the same display as the Looking Glass, but now it has all the computation is on board. It has a direct interface on board which lets me move and interact with that 3D scene. And it also has this fold-out screen here which lets me have a 2D interface to bring up different types of 3D content as I go. So this is really more towards, whereas the first thing we launched at AWE last year was around, let's have a model for creators, a dev kit, where you bring in your own laptop, you work in your own tools, and you see it in here. This is now, I developed a product and I want to put it out in the world, I want to deploy it. So I make a build, I put it onto this device, and now I just plug in a wire, and this thing boots up and just does that all day, every day.
And that is amazing. How in the heck do you film something like what we're seeing there, those teeth? I could see that being useful for a dentist to show the patient.
How do you film it on camera?
Yeah.
Well, it takes a lot of practice. We often move the camera around to give the sense of looking at it from different angles.
And you've developed some interesting rigs just to kind of develop the ideas around filming this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. We've been experimenting a lot with not just where we are now, but if you think about how you create with technology, a camera is the most important way of creation. That's the most common creation tool that everyone has in their pocket. And we are really interested in the types of cameras that are out there. Most of the new smartphones have stereo cameras, and that captures a 3D image. Some of them have even more exotic cameras that can capture 3D video, and also looking beyond that and looking at what's available and even things that aren't, that we really have to make, and how we can capture holographic imagery of the world and put it directly into here.
And one of the things that really impressed me was something you filmed, a bird in its nest. It looked like I was there.
Yeah, I did a partnership with a group in Bermuda that works with one of the most endangered birds in the world, called the cahau. There's 100 of these birds in the world, and they only exist on this one tiny island. You can walk across the island in like 5 minutes. And maybe 2,000 people in the world have ever seen that bird face to face. And if you get more people to come see it, you drive it extinct. It's actually so fragile and so localized that you can't have more presence. So I built a camera, a light field camera, to capture a digital hologram of this bird, a holographic video, and to be able to replay it in a display like these at life size. They live in a burrow that is exactly this size, with the idea of live streaming a hologram of this extremely special, endangered, rare organism, and having that appear somewhere else and feeling like you're in front of it. It's special. It's an unusual application, but when this opportunity came up, I thought, yeah, this sounds like exactly why I should build a hologram camera, and I did.
It's amazing because it seems to me that this could be used by any school in America to kind of bring ideas across, create virtual museums, what have you.
Yeah, I love that idea. I mean, any way where we're so good at learning by seeing things happen, and by seeing that happen in detail, like feeling like we're there and looking around and understanding how to work with and like what's going on in the scene. It feels delightful to see that as like a digital diorama or a stage where I can see these things play out. And we're just starting to like be at the tip of the iceberg around storytelling and content production in here. We saw this thing which I am enamored with, where a couple people we know made a short story, a 3-minute story in one of these. And I was showing it, and it's a little bit of a sad story. And I was showing it to somebody, and they started to cry.
Wow.
And I thought, like, they've emotionally connected with something that's in there. That, we don't aim to bring people to tears, but that idea that someone connected enough to feel an emotional link to a story that's told in a hologram, it feels special.
And so from a technical perspective, how much bandwidth? Have you tried transmitting this, from A to B, not just within the device itself?
Yeah, all the time, actually. So the idea of being able to broadcast video or have bidirectional video calls is really exciting. And the way we package up the information is in a format we call a quilt, which is a tiling of all the different views from different viewpoints of a scene. We can pack that up into sizes that are already readily transportable in low latency formats around the world. So for both one directional, like a broadcast format, and a bidirectional format. And we can pack that onto carriers that do live video, like YouTube Live, Vimeo Live.
So you can put in an MP4 container or something like that?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that's really powerful, is that's a hard problem. And really smart people have worked for decades trying to solve the problem of transmitting video over the internet. And that is cool. I'm glad they did that. We're also working on other problems, and it's really nice to piggyback off of all that work and have something that can be easily transmittable and easily received and played back.
What sort of bandwidth are you talking about for that kind of file?
If you can stream 4K video, I don't know the number off the top of my head because it varies a lot on what exactly the video is. But if you can stream 4K video, that's enough to play it back.
Excellent. So it really looks like the sky's the limit. I mean, we saw you last year, and this year it's even easier to see this. Unfortunately, our viewers probably won't be able to see it like I can in real life here. But Alex, I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. And if you want to see it, lookingglassfactory.com.
Excellent. Thanks.